Hello and welcome back to Session 5 of Compassion Camp. This is the wrap-up for the last day of camp. We hope you've really enjoyed it. Over the past 5 sessions, we've learned a lot about compassion together. I know I have learned a lot. We learned that compassion begins with seeing, feeling, and welcoming others. We talked about how compassion makes us brave and how it is important to love and care for ourselves and others. We learned last time how it helps to be open to people that we encounter along the way and to trust God to lead us. Today, for our last time together, we explored how compassion gives us fresh starts through the beautiful tradition of Jubilee. Jubilee, fresh starts, helps us see, feel, and trust God's abundance. There is enough for everyone. And God's abundance is meant for all people and all of creation. When we make space for rest and gather at the table and care for those who need the most help, we show God's compassion. Here are some questions to think about. Why are fresh starts important? Why do you think it's important to rest? Why do you think it's important to celebrate? What do we celebrate? And how does this help us share God's compassion? In closing, here are some thoughts to think about. God's compassion is God's justice. And working for God's justice, making things right, releases God's abundance into the world, making sure everyone has what they need. When we rest and help others and the land to rest, we show God's justice. When we gather together at the table in joy, we show God's justice. When we care for those who need it most, we show God's justice. Justice, making things right, is what happens when we are compassionate. Here are some ways that we can show compassion. Seeing and welcoming others, being brave and showing up, loving ourselves and others, being present with each other, and making fresh starts. And when we do these things, we show God's love, peace, and justice in the world. Let us close the same way we opened today. Place one hand on your head and one on your heart. We are doing this because compassion begins in your brain and you can feel it in your heart. Let's have our closing prayer. Please repeat after me. Joyful Spirit, your hands are always creating freedom and fresh starts. Help us do the same today by caring for all living things. Open us to humbly receive that same care ourselves. Make our hearts smile and our actions sing. With your promise of abundance toward the whole world. Amen. And thank you for joining us on this Compassion Camp. We hope you've really enjoyed it, and we hope you will tune in again. Miss Deb signing off.